Welcome to In 5 Minutes. Now we'll write a program with function. Here we are going to take an example of function with parameters but no return value. The example is define a function to calculate and print average of three integers given as a parameter. Now we are supposed to write a function with parameters, that is three integer parameters, and the function is supposed to calculate and print the average. So all these things should be done inside the function. Now let's see how to define a function. While defining a function, we have to follow the syntax rules of function definition, return type, function name, then the parameter list, and in curly brackets the statements to be done by function. Here, since the function is not supposed to return the answer, we'll write function return type as void, then write some function name as avg, then the parameter list. Here we expect three parameters of integer types. We need to write them separately as int a, int b, int c. Now variable names can be any names, but the data types and numbers should be matching with the requirement. So here we require three int parameters. Now these are the three parameters which will be received inside the function, and function is supposed to calculate the average of these a, b, c. To calculate the average, we need to have one floating point variable. So I'll define one float v variable. In v, I'll do the calculation of average, that is a plus b plus c, the whole divided by 3.0 I'm writing, so that answer will be in floating point. And then we'll display the average. We'll write printf command. So the printf prints the value of v as floating point value. Now this function will not work on its own. We need to call it. So obviously we need to write main. So after function, we'll continue writing main as a separate block of statements. Here, the main is supposed to input the values and supply as parameters to function. And for that, here I'll define three variables. Let's say x, y, and z. This will follow normal syntax rules. Then we'll input the values for x, y, z using printf, scanf commands. So these commands will input the values for x, y, z. Then we need to call the function, and while calling a function we have to supply the values of x, y, z to the function, and for that we write it like this. We write avg with parameters over here as x, y, z. Now observe over here, while defining a function we write each variable with its data type separated with commas. The variables written inside the function body, that is inside the function, are called as the formal parameters. There are some special names over here you have to remember. And the variables that we supply from main to the function, they are called as actual parameters. Now how the program is going to overall work, I'll explain with a small graphics over here. Now as the program will start working, main program will start first, then it will input the values for xyz using those printf, scanf command. So this part is working over here now. Let's say the inputs are 5, 6 and 7. So scanf has input the values. Then the function average is called, so program is going to jump to function and start working over here. But before that, the values of xyz, that is the values of actual parameters, will be supplied to or passed to formal parameters abc. So abc receive those values as 5, 6, 7 respectively. Then float v will be defined in function. V does the calculation as average, will get 6.0, and then it prints the value of average. Obviously then the program will return back to main and terminate. So overall process is like this. Main starts, defines variables xyz, inputs the values for xyz, then calls the function and gives values of xyz to abc. Function defines a new variable for average, calculates the average and displays the average. So the overall program we are divided into two parts, that is main that inputs the values, gives to function, function does the calculation. Program we can write in simple way is like this. We can simply write main with three variables to input, one variable for float calculation, that is average calculation. Using printf, scanf we can input data, then calculate the average in the same main only and print the average there and there only. Instead of that, what we have done is main inputs the values, calls the function, supplies the values to the average function, function calculates the answer and displays the answer. So it's just a division of work done in a program. It's an example of function with parameters. Thank you.